Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of General Geekery. With me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
And on the heels of our last episode, which was pretty entertaining, actually, I was
I
opening.
thought so.
I thought so too. I was opening figures, and JD was either telling us about the figure itself or the era of Star Wars that particular figure came from. It's been a long time since we had done a Star Wars episode. So I think it was well timed and was quite fun, and we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I this is probably gonna be the what, second of probably three parts, right?
At least
Last time, I know you opened Barisofi, Ayla Secura, and a bunch of clone troopers,
I
but
did. I have them all.
did but what else is in the pile that is not Imperial or First Order?
That's not Imperial or First Order or clone.
Well, yeah, well, they were good guys to start with, so sure, we could go with that.
Uh,
I'm just curious.
Vintage
I
Collection 299. I was actually about to buy this because I didn't think I had one, but I just noticed that I do have it. So luckily I didn't buy it again.
well, start with that.
I did that with two of the figures that are in this pile. I bought it twice by accident. Uh Pre Vizsla.
Ah, okay.
I actually do have the original one that came with the dark saber
Okay.
on a card still out on the wall. I
Was
found it.
that a was that a Clone Wars figure?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the animated style one, right?
It is animated style. It's one of the few animated style figures I bought. It was super hard to find. I found it at a Kmart.
Um, I had some of the Mandalorian troopers of his, but I don't think I ever had the Pre-Vizsla figure, and I don't have the new Pre-Vizsla figure or the Black Series one. I should really rectify that, but someday,
He does come with the dark saber. All right.
as he should, since he had it right up until Maul beheaded him and took it. So, or used it to behead him and then took it.
He's got dual pistol blasters. The sheaths are sculpted into the legs, which is not my favorite, but
Oh, just like you said, Django Fett didn't have. Well,
although
Pre-Vizsla does that. Well,
it looks like that's pretty much how the style is. So
I was gonna say, I think all the Mandalorians, I think they did, aside of Django Fett, who had the separate belts hanging down. I think they did all have the holsters as part of their jumpsuits.
yes, they're like molded into the thigh armor.
Yeah, like they're part of. Yeah, or maybe they're actually part of the armor.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they're
so it's a different style than Django Fett's. So that
the
makes sense.
the weapons for this. This is a newer figure. The weapons for this are the really soft bendy plastic that we've been seeing a lot in the GI Joe classified line. I don't like
Hate that.
I don't like it at all. I mean, I do and I don't. Um, I've said that the softer plastic probably will hold up over time better than the harder plastic. Um,
Well, it's good because it won't break, but it also doesn't hold its shape.
it doesn't hold its shape, and the plastic that they use in the hands is different as well. So, the big problem with like the GI Joe Vintage Collection is breaking thumbs and fingers off with those harder weapons. That's not going to be an issue. I wish they'd use just a slightly harder plastic that would retain its shape.
Yeah, because honestly, well, the smaller weapons, it's less noticeable and less obnoxious. The bigger weapons, like the rifles, when
Yeah,
they don't hold their shape, it's that's beautiful.
it is a nice figure.
Um, yeah, when the rifles and crap don't hold their shape, it's really annoying because you can fix it but it's not going to be the only time you have to fix it.
Right.
Um,
The sculpting is amazing. The paint jobs are not bad. The accessories are aside from the soft plastic are great. Uh, Comes with the removable helmet. The backpack's removable. The articulation's fantastic. This is a nice figure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's the head look like? Does he have the scar on his face?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't know if
Oh, very
you see
cool.
it's under his
Oh,
left eye.
very cool.
Yeah,
Um,
the paint job on the head is very nice. It looks like they
eh,
used just a little bit of a wash to give it some depth.
good,
Don't see
because
very often in
no, they don't. But when they do it, it's usually it's usually well done, and it's
yeah.
just enough to bring out detail.
All right. Somebody that's putting that first order or imperial, huh? All right, here we go. Vintage collection 279, Tuscan Warrior.
Ah, yes.
This is why I didn't buy the deluxe figure of this, is because they just came out with a carded one, and I've got a pile of massive somewhere.
You know, I don't think I realized they made a separate carded version of that. I thought the deluxe one with the mask, I thought that was the only version. I didn't realize that they brought out two versions of her. So I'm gonna guess that they're identical figures, just bigger box. And with the pet for the deluxe version, that is not
It's not a $26 figure or whatever
no.
they're
No, but honestly, I think um while prices of action figures have all gone up, I think what they're doing with Star Wars is a bit of a racket, because they're deluxe figures. I don't think count as deluxe figures. Um,
do.
and because like you said, the Django Fett figure, the deluxe one that's coming out or is out or is almost the same figure that you bought 10 years ago for a bigger price with missing in it without one of his critical accessories. So and like the deluxe I think the Sabine Wren figure that just came out for Ahsoka,
Yeah.
deluxe figure, and all it is Sabine with the Loth cat.
Yeah.
So again, that is not $26 worth of toy.
No, I kind of wanted to get that figure, but I passed on it because
Um,
if it comes on sale at some point in time, I might pick it up. But
yeah, because last month I saw the Black Series Commander Apo, one of the leaders of the 501st, and I almost bought it because I was surprised to see it in the store. But when I scanned it and it said 27.98, I'm like, no, it's a Black Series clone that comes with his rifle, and that's it. And oh, yeah, she looks good for a
it's
regular carded price. Yeah,
yeah, no, I'm really impressed. The articulation's fantastic on it.
I was gonna say, is
Uh,
the skirt? It looks like it's hanging properly.
yeah, it's
On
soft goods,
okay, yeah, but I mean, it's not
a
like
little bit of plastic.
but it's not like the oversized uh wearing a parachute
Uh-uh.
soft goods. Good.
No, no, they did a really nice job on this. The head's fairly articulated. It's on a ball joint, so it actually swivels, even though she's got a big kind of Calderon chest piece. So I mean, you can still have some decent head articulation. And then
Uh,
yeah, articulated ankles and knees and hips, and swivel at the waist. So I mean, it's really nicely articulated. And I'm just sure I've got some massives here somewhere. I don't know where they are right now, but I know I've got some. So I'm gonna
I'd
make it.
be shocked if you didn't, because the massives
Um,
in the Attack of the Clones line were erroneously put with the Geonosians at first, and
yes.
then later versions of the massives properly came with the Tusken Raiders, and they've been released a few times. So I would be surprised if you didn't have a pile of massives from all the because you bought Geonosians, And
Yeah,
you bought a bunch of Tusken Raiders over the years, I think.
I did. I bought a bunch of the Geonosians. I didn't buy. So yeah, there's a Geonosian right there.
Yeah.
Uh, I bought a bunch of Geonosians, but I didn't buy the Tusken Raiders at all. I didn't like the figure at the time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, they've made many Tusken Raiders over the years of varying qualities.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's one of the reasons I got this one is because it looked like a really nice figure, and I didn't have a nice Tusken Raider in my collection. And the fact that it's a female figure is just, I like collecting female figures, so it's a bonus.
well, and she was a great character on that show. And incidentally, one of the characters on that show, while we saw her Tusken tribe wiped out, we didn't actually see her. So while we
Uh,
can,
yeah.
well, it's implied, and we can probably deduce that she was killed along with the chieftain and most of the tribe. We didn't see a body, so there's a possibility that that Tusken Raider is survived and is wandering around on in the Dune Sea somewhere. Um,
Yeah,
just like we didn't see,
I don't see one, but I know I've got them here somewhere. Because
just
I
like we don't have any confirmation that Garsa Fwip was killed. And frankly, again, I say Darth Maul got chopped in half and came back anyway. So Fennec Shand was supposed to die, but then it was something along the lines of, oh wait, let's not get Ming Na Wen just for one badass character. How about we bring her back?
yeah.
So I like to think maybe that Tusken Raider, maybe she's out there somewhere.
Well, shit. There's a possibility that it's. Yeah, I got tons of Geonosians laying around here, but I can't find any of the massives.
Oh, I'm sure they're around. You'll find them when you aren't looking for them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
As is usually the case with things. Um,
Yeah. All right.
well, time to go buy the $26 deluxe figure to get a massive. All right, open something Imperial.
Okay, something Imperial. All right. Vintage Collection 293. This is one that I accidentally bought two of. The Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
I was gonna get the third sister, but because I did see her everywhere and I just never did. And
Did they make a vintage collection of the fourth sister?
I
Because I
don't
know they made her in the Black series, but
I don't think so. I think it was just
okay. I didn't buy her in the Black series either. I almost did, but it really came down to I don't need all the Inquisitors. I mean, I love them. I think they're awesome. I don't need to own them all. I have the Grand Inquisitor because, well, he's the Grand Inquisitor,
Yes.
and he showed up on Rebels later, or earlier, but later in the continuity timeline. Um, but
Thought.
yeah, I didn't buy the fifth brother either, but um, which I probably should have bought them all because they were discounted, but whatever. Um, One of the things I like about what they're doing with the vintage collection now is the figures that have counterparts in the Black series. They're very similar quality, detail wise, sculpt wise, and even articulation wise. So the Grand Inquisitor that I bought from the Obi-Wan series, I imagine is probably just about as good in the vintage collection.
Yeah, it's a nice figure. Nice soft.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's come. We got his lightsaber with both blades out, and he's got one with the blades in, and the one with
Does it hook to his back? All right, good.
it pegs into his back.
Sweet. As it should. It would be kind of a dumb oversight if it didn't. But oh, does he have a two-sided cape? Like it's got a different color
Uh,
liner than
it
I
does.
don't even think the Black series has a different color liner.
I thought I was looking at that in the on the video here, and I'm like, I must just be the way the light's hitting it, but Now that you mentioned that, I had to look at it. I'm like, yeah, it's brown on the inside and black on the outside.
That's cool. I don't.
That's the first time I've seen something like that.
I need to go. You know what? I need to go check my Black Series figure. I think I might be about it. I might be about to be annoyed. Hang on.
All right. So I'm putting these in a container for now. The tackle box, that's usually how I store my loose figures. But as I mentioned on the last episode, I am currently putting up plexiglass shelves in my display room. Um, and that's where all of my loose figures are going to go eventually. I've got most all of my Star Wars up. Quite a bit of my all of my vintage GI Joe are up, and my Iron Man collection is up. Um, I've got my Marvel stuff, my DC stuff, and then just random 118 stuff still to go. And I'm already filling up the wall, which is it looks really cool. Trust me. I'll take a picture of it and stick it in here for you to take a look. And I just like having my figures so I can see them and so I can access them too. Because every once in a while, I'll use them for painting references, for customs, or uh, just want to play with them. So I want to be able to access my stuff. So that's why I'm putting all my loose stuff on that shelf.
It is. It does have the brown liner on the cloak.
Nice.
Um, I never noticed it before, and I may never have noticed if I didn't see it on your video. And wow, I'm really glad about this because I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to have to curse the Black Series version.
Right.
So, all
All right.
right, good,
Give me
good.
something
I'm
else.
satisfied now.
Give me something else. Pick. I like that. That's working. Pick
Uh, something else from the prequel era.
prequel era. All right.
Movies, Clone Wars, even the Obi-Wan series, still technically prequel area. Hmm. It's a weird gray area. It's during the it's during the time of the Empire, but
All
it
right.
was still pretty firmly prequelized.
All right. This is definitely a prequel era. Vintage Collection 123, the Walmart exclusive um, Mimbin Stormtrooper.
Oh, sweet. All right, yep. All right, so yep, straight out of Solo, a Star Wars story. Is yeah, he's properly muddy, I'm guessing.
He is. This is one of the few. This is probably like one of the last Walmart exclusive figures that I got at Walmart. The one here in town actually had it, and I'm like,
Oh, you actually got it at the store. You didn't, you didn't mean the Walmart website.
no. It was actually several of the WalMarts here in town had them. So I didn't have any problem getting this, which really surprised me because after I picked it up, I was looking at um, the some of the collection boards on Facebook and seeing how a lot of people are having trouble finding it.
Huh. Well, that's cool. Um, I'm curious what gear he comes with. Oh, that's cool. Is that
So
a okay? So what is that? A sniper rifle?
I don't know, man. That's pretty cool. I haven't
That
seen
is cool.
I haven't seen that
I like
before.
weapons that have slings on them.
I do too, and
Uh,
then just the regular blaster. And the helmet is a little different than the normal stormtrooper helmet.
yeah, it's got that.
The ridge.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got the I don't know whatever the extra thick dome is like a stormtrooper version of a Pachycephalosaurus.
Interesting analogy, but yes,
Um,
I
I
like it.
always figure
It's
because
a
we see those guys guarding the beast in the movie, which is Muddy Chewbacca, but I always figured those guys had souped up armor because they often get stuck with the guard duty. If the prisoner gets unruly, they might need extra protection. Um, unlike the regular stormtroopers, which apparently are a dime a dozen. Oh yeah, that's cool. Well,
The sling doesn't stay on the figure very well, unfortunately.
I mean, it's a good thing it's not, it's doing the one job that it has then. He's got a poncho or something on too. That's cool.
There we go.
Um yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Paint apps are nice. Articulation's
I was
fantastic.
gonna say it actually looks like the weathering is decently done
Yeah.
and not just an obvious like a spray app that just
That's
sort
one
of
of the reasons I got it is
that's cool.
it's a nicely weathered figure. So yeah, it's one of
Yeah,
the
that's
reasons.
cool.
God damn it. Yeah, that gun does not want to stay on. So
I can't win them all.
no.
Um, I mean, if you get a great sculpt, good detail, great articulation, and totally captures the look in the movie, I mean, what's it matter if the weapons are useful or not?
All right.
Details.
Give me something else.
Imperial.
Imperial. All right. That's easy. I got one right here.
I have no idea why we're doing it this way, but
I don't know.
it started out of curiosity. But all right, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I like it. And it seems to work. I don't know that I can do each one, but I'm gonna try. The
No,
one
at some point you're gonna run out of everything that isn't Imperial. So
uh,
at the tail end of this, it'll just be Empire, 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 Empire. Um, and
uh
to think in real life, you wouldn't want an Empire to be around, but boy, it's sure fun in the movies, right?
yeah, it is.
Um,
Vintage collection 196 196.
he's still sick.
Yeah. Scout Trooper from Fallen
Okay.
Order.
All right. Yeah.
One
Oh,
of the
so he's got like suspenders or something on. What
yeah,
is that?
he's got a like web gear and it looks like a purge trooper staff.
Okay. I did not play Fallen Order or the sequel
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
don't
not a gamer, and I'm vaguely familiar with the story of them, but
I'm not familiar with that story at all now that I think about it.
it's basically what I've done is I've watched a few videos of it on YouTube. Either people were streaming it or like with the cutscenes and whatever with the
Yeah.
cinematic stuff. So I am familiar with it in terms of that, but I know there's a lot of cool Easter eggs in there from both the movies and the expanded materials, like the whatever they call it now. But yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the Scout Trooper with the extra gear, so that's interesting.
Well, he does come with a spot for a blaster in his ankle, but he doesn't come with the blaster.
Oh, so they just reused the sculpt from the Endor version.
Yeah.
Oh, nice job, Hasbro. Um,
I do like the fact that he can like angle his neck,
oh, that's cool.
okay, which I think is one of the neat tricks of of the the newer scout trooper. And it's not a purge trooper staff; it's maybe half of that. But the scout
Oh,
troopers were definitely one of my favorite troopers as a kid.
oh,
So,
it looks like a riot controlled, like a what do you call it?
right, like a
Stun baton or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I will always pick up a new styled scout trooper. So that's the reason I picked this one up. And most of the video game stuff is I've yet to see a video game figure that I don't like. I'm not sure I don't play either. But man, the video game figures are awesome for the most
I
part.
while I'm not a gamer and I don't play any of them, I tap into them as far as a resource for the story, and I can often appreciate the amount of detail that they use to fill out the universe from that viewpoint. Like you get to see the Battlefront games. I never played, but I watched a lot of videos because basically you get to see a lot of the geography of the planets because they use the resources from Lucasfilm to recreate these planets in the video game universe or in the style. So you get to see the geography of these planets that you didn't get to see in the movies. So
Uh,
I really appreciate how much substance they add in between the lines.
Battlefront, my Emily and I used to play that either when we were first dating, after we first moved in together.
Oh, so like old Battlefront, like
Battlefront 2, I think.
that's cool.
Yeah. So
Did
yeah, it's almost probably about 20 years ago because it'll be our 20th anniversary this year.
man, man, she's been putting up with you for a while.
Yeah.
Well, good job. Hey, she hasn't killed you yet, so I think you're good to go. Honestly,
Oh, all right, give me something else.
uh, you know what? We're gonna mix it up. Go Empire again.
Empire. All right, let me see what I got. All right, here we go. Empire, let's go vintage collection 180. Moff Gideon.
Oh yes.
Uh
Um,
there's a my wife says there's a that anytime God, what's the actor's name? I can never say his name.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Thank you. Anytime he shows up, you know you're fucked.
Yeah, he is. I know one of his biggest roles was Breaking Bad, which I've never watched, but I have seen him in a bunch of other stuff.
I liked him in the
And
boys.
um, oh, I didn't even get that far in the series. I know that when he shows up, you're gonna get a tour de force performance. The guy is phenomenal, and he's a lot of fun to watch in interviews because he knows he's good at playing a bad guy, and he'll play that up in the interview sometimes. But he gets all he gets all gushy and melty when the fans get emotional, and especially like the kids that get emotional about meeting him, and it's amazing. The guy, I've heard him referred to as a national treasure, and I could go with that. And
I've,
his character, Moff Gideon, the guy's scary. The guy is legitimately scary.
I've seen him at a convention. We didn't meet him, but I did see him.
Um, yeah, he seems like an awesome guy. Like somebody that it'd be fun if you went and had lunch with, and to hear him tell stories. Yeah, he's a and his yeah, Moff Gideon, he is a scary character. Um, I would say he's one of the scariest Imperials aside of like Tarkin and
Krennic.
Tarkin and Tarkin. Most of the officers tended to be sort of eh, a little bit what's what I'm looking for tissue paper. I mean, they're cool, their presence is cool, but they don't do much. But Moff Gideon, he did enough to scare the crap out of anybody.
I liked Krennic too.
Oh yeah, Krennic. Well, Krennic is great because he's like an everyman inside the Empire. Like he's just a working guy that got a little bit of power and it went to his head, but he's constantly fighting to keep up with the Imperial machine.
And
And
that's like a perfect description of the character that he played in Ready Player One as well. That's one of my
oh,
favorite.
that's true.
That's one of
He
my
was the
favorite books. The movie does not hold a candle to the book in any way, shape, or form. But every time I've read that book since, that's who I see as that character.
that's cool. Yeah, I know him first from Rogue One, but I've seen him in a bunch of stuff since. Oh yeah, that's nice.
So what we need now is the men need the Moff Gideon in the Mandalorian super armor.
Um, the fact that we haven't seen an announcement of that yet absolutely shocks me because as soon as he popped up on the screen in that horned Imperial helmet, I'm like, oh, they're just waiting until this episode's over before they announce it, and they haven't announced it yet. I'm kind of
I'm
surprised.
I
Um,
figured at the very least they do a Black Series figure of it because that seems to
yeah,
be their bread and
mhm,
butter. They haven't
yeah,
even announced
yeah.
the.
We've seen nothing yet, but they'll get there. They'll get there. Convention season is just a couple of months away. So,
Give me something else.
uh, you have any more Jedi?
Jedi. Ooh, yeah, I think so. Yes.
Ooh, we're in a cardboard box. All right, what do we got here? Um,
I had been waiting. I wanted this one for a couple of different reasons, but it was too expensive. This was my uh frivolous um Black Friday purchase
okay.
because it was significantly discounted. And when I got it, I had already started putting up my shelves. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait to open it until I open everything else.
Oh, I'm very curious to see what this is.
Yeah, JD has no idea what this is.
No, I really don't. There's so much Star Wars news that comes out about the toys, and sometimes I can't keep up with all of it. But
All right, so
and especially after the fact, I just lose track.
all right, yeah, this is nice. All right.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it was like half off. So on
Oh
Black
no shit. I've never even seen that before. I
so
don't think I've ever seen a picture of that before. Where did you get that? Where did you order it from?
Amazon.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I so it's got what? A purge trooper
Phase
and Obi-Wan and then
phase two purge armor. Tika is the
Tika. That's the name. The Jawa.
Jawa and Tibidon Station Ben Kenobi.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've never seen that set before. So, boy, good thing I wasn't trying to guess. Um,
I found it because I was looking for a purge trooper. Um, before my
like you do.
before I was looking for one for a custom because I was like I didn't think I had a purge trooper. So that's how I found this, and it was or no, I think I saw the announcement when they announced that it was coming out, and I wanted
That's
to,
cool.
but I'm like, I don't really want to spend that kind of money on anything else on the other three. But then I'm like, I don't have a real nice Ben Kenobi figure. The Jawa I could kind of take or leave, although it looks really nice. But there we go. Punched
I
card.
like I like the Jawa on the Obi-Wan series. Like for a thing that only showed up in one scene, it had a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Like when it tells Obi-Wan, or when Obi-Wan's like, if you're gonna steal my parts, you could at least sell them back to me at a discount or clean it. And the Jawa's like, no, cleaning costs extra.
Uh,
Um,
Collection 257 through 259 are the numbers
that's
on.
cool.
All right, so I'm gonna open the Ben Kenobi, and I need to get another tray here because these are this will
How
fill it.
many empty trays do you have left to fill up?
Oh, quite a bit because I've emptied a lot of them to put the figures on the shelves.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So you basically put them in there like it's carbon freeze as a placeholder before they get put up on the shelves.
Yeah, because I
That's
don't. I got the shelves last earlier this week, but I've been sick all week, so I didn't get them up. Um,
that makes sense.
and I don't have. I have to go get some. I bought. They're like 1 inch by a quarter inch or half inch pickets that I'm using for layered for I don't know what I want to say there.
Like a staircase type thing.
That kind of
But
staircase.
you got different levels, so not everything is so the front stuff isn't blocking all the stuff that's in the back.
That's it exactly. Um,
Okay.
and I got to go to Lowe's to get those, and I just this is the first time I've been out of bed for more than half an hour in since Wednesday,
Oh man.
and it's Sunday,
Um
so we're clear. Although I sat up to watch the football game last night, so
um yeah, with the weather here, they moved the Bills game to tomorrow.
yeah,
Uh,
it was 10 below when we got up this morning, and uh, Emily said that was too much for Alice. So every morning, Emily takes Alice out and throws the ball for her, and she said that Alice brought it back 4 times before she's like, "This fuck this, this is too cold."
I'm with the dog on that one.
Mhm.
Um it's cold here, but mostly because of the wind, which has mostly died down today, but the weather's gotten better today. But it was pretty ugly this morning when I was driving. Although, I mean, nowhere near as ugly as Buffalo in that area because I'm in I'm in the Falls and we're actually about 45 minutes from Buffalo, and because of where we're situated in between two of the Great Lakes, we get spared some of the worst of the weather. But like Buffalo and beyond that, like out near the airport, they get absolutely walloped by it. So, um, yeah, it's not that bad here, but there apparently it sucks. There's a travel ban, so
Yikes.
yeah,
Huh.
we. I woke up today. We had a few inches of snow on the ground, and it was real light powdery snow. But I'm like, well, this could be the only time it snows. That'd be okay. So
Yeah, it was like 10 below last night at the end of the game. And because we listened to the Kansas City game because we were absolutely not gonna pay Peacock $5.99 to watch it.
that's ridiculous.
Because we're not Kansas City fans here, so we wanted to see Kansas City lose, even though they didn't. But we wanted to listen to the game. So when we were shutting the game off, we heard a cat meowing. We're like, oh fuck, it's like 10 below out there. So we went out and tried to find the cat, and it ran away from Emily. We were gonna bring it in for the night, but it ran away.
Um.
Hopefully it's still alive somewhere because it got really fucking cold last night.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. The he's got a blaster that goes in the holster, and then the lightsaber pegs into the waist, and then um just the regular lightsaber there. And
That's
then
cool. And the cloak looks like it hangs nicely.
it
They've
does.
come a
Really.
long way with the soft goods.
Yeah, they have.
Um.
That's a skill that I wish I possessed is making soft goods.
Oh yeah, I can't either. The couple of customs I've ever made that needed something soft goods, it it looks uh like a I took some fabric and took a machete to it to cut it, and I mean I didn't, but yeah, I it might as well have. So, um,
That's I'm kind of stuck on the um Purge Trooper holiday Purge Trooper custom that I'm working on because I can't get a cloak that I like. I thought about asking Olivia to do it for me.
I'm sure she would. Oh, she's got. I forgot to tell you, she's got an Ahsoka figure that she's going to send you from the vintage collection.
Oh,
Um, yeah, she offered it to me, but I told her if she sent it to me, I'd just end up sending it to you. So, because with my my heretical uh preference of the Black Series for Star Wars, um, mostly because I like him as displays, and I don't army build anything. But yeah, she's got an Ahsoka that she's gonna pass on to you
all right.
because she's like, you think he's got one? I'm like, I pretty much guarantee he doesn't, unless he bought a set that included Din Djarin and Grogu. Um,
All right. Well, here's the Tika figure. Comes with the blaster. It doesn't fit. The arms are hard plastic.
oh,
Yeah.
can you
So
heat him up? Like, oh, is that one of those where you're gonna have to heat it up to get it to hold
um,
the ion blaster?
oh, because the hands are different plastic and they're really soft.
Oh,
So I'm not real impressed. It looked good in the packaging. That's about it. I'm not really
oh,
impressed with the. I mean, it's probably better than the original vintage Jawa,
well, yeah.
but still, it's I don't know. That
Uh,
that's one of the things that's been lacking in in toys is decent bucks in this size. For kids and especially for customs. It's not horrible, but I'm not. It's not my favorite either. The plastic sculpted stuff is really nice. I mean, they did a really nice job with the head, and it's articulated and it looks nice, but I don't know.
so it's kind of one of those you're gonna set it on the shelf with the rest, but you're glad you're not setting up a dio with it.
Yeah, or that I needed to army build it for a Tatooine Dio.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I'll bet there's a lot of people that probably did buy these in bulk to because it looks nice. So if you're
Um,
doing a dio, I mean, but it would be really hard to position those differently for every figure.
um, you know, I see a lot of impressive diorama work that people set up, and I'm always I always admire the amount of patience that people must have to set the stuff up, pose the figures just right, so you have a variety of stuff going on. And I'm like, I I I move them around when I mess with them, but when it comes to the Dio stuff, I have a lack of patience. And if they don't cooperate, like all this articulation and the thing still can't hold a pose, I tend to get really impatient with it.
I have tried a couple of times to build dioramas, and my eyes are always bigger than my stomach, and it never gets finished. And I've just decided to stop doing it.
Me too. Basically, when it comes to my photos, um, if I need to have a background, I'll take one of the. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's scary looking.
Yeah.
He's a scarier looking figure than they turned out to be in the series, where they again they look cool, but they didn't use Purge Troopers to their potential in
Uh,
the series.
it's also kind of handy here since I bought a Perch Trooper for it custom. I have an extra Perch Trooper staff to give him.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, it didn't come with one?
Uh-uh.
Well, that's incredibly stupid.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't remember if the Phase 2 Perch Troopers had stabs or not.
oh, I could be wrong. Maybe it was just the Faith ones. I don't.
But he gets one because I got an extra one sitting here.
Yeah, that was. I think those guys were introduced in one of the video games. Like I think the first Purge, they were either from the comics
I think they were from the video game, one of the video
or
games.
the Fallen Order video game, and then they showed up in the comics, and
In the
then they showed up in Kenobi, and there were a lot of fans that were real excited to see the Purge Troopers on camera. And you know, I can't speak to a lot of the disappointment people feel when they watch the series is,
and
because
he also
I
comes with
think
backpack.
the who
Kenobi also comes with the backpack.
oh okay um okay, is it my imagination or is there just a thumbs down in a bubble on
Yeah,
the screen?
what the
What
fuck
the heck was that?
was that? I think it was AI. Let me try that again because I think it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's creepy.
yeah. It's got to be part of Zoom.
That's creepy. I
Yeah,
don't
that's the
okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's I don't like it.
That is
I
what.
don't. Oh good. Oh good. Zoom is going to become a Terminator here soon. Cool. Good
Yeah.
to know.
All
Um
right, give me something else.
good lord, after that, oh, find something that means death and destruction for everything around it. Because clearly Zoom is considering us harm. Um,
Easily done. Easily done.
I had a feeling.
This is
Um,
break my heart to open this. I'm really tempted not to. Vintage Collection 127.
gonna need elaboration on that.
You'll understand when you see it. You won't need elaboration. You'll because you know me.
I was gonna say, I'm actually whatever it is, I'm actually kind of surprised you're opening it then.
Yeah,
If you have qualms about it,
yeah. I'm. It's gonna kill me to open this, but I don't have this particular version. Death Trooper.
oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you can't leave that on the card.
No.
Um,
This
yeah, you love those guys.
we get.
Um, yeah, you're you're with the Death Troopers. You're like I am with the uh with the with the ARC Troopers. Like you're a massive fan.
They were specifically based on the Navy SEALs. They specifically made the armor bigger. They specifically went after bigger actors to
I
put
was gonna say, weren't all the actors weren't they? They had to be a minimum of like 6'2", and
this for, I think.
yeah, they had to be really tall and really lean because the Death Troopers were going to have to be the most imposing live action Imperials that we had seen. And I would say they accomplished that. Those guys are outright scary. Um, and
Yeah,
those guys can actually shoot. We saw that in Rogue One. They can actually shoot.
yeah,
Um, um, they were on the Rebel series where they were cool. I want to say I think they.
watching that.
Oh, that's right. There were some of those with Moff Gideon in the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Um, oh,
Yeah. Now it's got different web gear than the one I've got.
oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it's got the pouches and what are those grenades or something on the front?
Like grenades.
Oh, that's cool.
The only
Yeah,
thing I don't like is he's got a pistol, but he doesn't have a holster for the pistol.
that's dumb.
It is
Um,
dumb.
oh yeah. Well, I do understand why you were conflicted about opening it. Then, how many Death Troopers do you have at this point?
Not very. I don't know.
Not as many as you want to have.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. I've one of the reasons that I've also found that 3-pack that I just opened is because there's a 4-pack of Death Troopers on Amazon. I'm waiting for those to
Uh,
go on sale because I will when those go half off, I will buy those as well.
oh yeah, I was going to say that's going to be necessary.
But
Um,
I'm waiting until those are cheaper. So
yeah, the Imperial Death Troopers. In fact, they're very similar to what they did with the Republic ARC Troopers, where they're special ops and badass.
all right, since you said ARC Trooper, let's do an ARC Trooper.
Sweet. Um, yeah, I love some ARC Troopers. I was so glad when because they were a big deal in the comic books and they were in the novels during the prequel era, and then they brought them back for the Clone Wars TV series, and it was like a whole new demographic of people got to learn what the ARC Troopers were. Like finally, they were on screen. You didn't have to go read the literature to find out how cool the ARC Troopers were, and I I think I like I think I like ARC Troopers as much or more than the Republic Commandos.
Yeah, they're right up there with the Republic Commandos for me. Vintage Collection 235, ARC Trooper, Battlefront 2.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that figure. That is very cool.
yeah.
Um, oh that's nice. What's the title on the card?
ARC Trooper, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay. Oh, so all right. So, huh? Battlefront. Yeah, they must have had a bunch of various ARC troopers that
Yeah,
they probably added them after I stopped paying attention to it.
that's one thing I still do is I don't I'm not a completist for Star Wars, but what I do is follow the announcements pretty for the vintage collection pretty thoroughly. And if I see something that I like, I'll keep it in the back of my mind and then wait for it to for pre-order and then just pre-order it and it sits in my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store forever until it's time to ship it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that is
That's
yeah,
that
that was a must buy ARC trooper. That is cool. Like I don't know what the symbol that he's got imprinted on his helmet is, but that is really cool looking. Um,
kind of reminiscent of the Republic logo, but not quite.
um, yeah, I wonder if it's a specific clone unit. That wouldn't be that. I would not be surprised if it was. Um,
Comes with a ton of shit too.
as the ARC trooper should.
Has
They're basically they put those guys out on the battlefield and they're either equipped with everything they need or they have no problem finding what's missing. Um, they are survivalists if they need to be. Otherwise, well, they overwhelm either in numbers or proficiency with their weapons.
this is a
Yeah,
really
Archer.
when the comma and the Paldron are new. I've not seen these particular pieces before
Oh,
because
even better is the comma fabric.
it is not. It's plastic because it has some of the gear molded to it.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool.
It's got a backpack, and then there's a chest armor piece that is molded to the Paldron.
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
When the ARC troopers were coming out during the 30th anniversary, I would have loved to have had a shit ton of these guys, just for customs.
Um,
And then he
yeah,
comes with the standard blaster, pis, pistol rifle, and then the standard ARC trooper like heavy armor, heavy rifle. The
yeah,
pistol pegs into his backpack, so he can hold all of his gear.
awesome. Nice.
This is a big thing for me, obviously, as I've mentioned many times.
Um, the the Battlefront games when I was following it, I remember the announcement that oh, he is so cool looking.
Yeah, he is.
Oh man, he is. Oh, that is man. I want one of those now.
The
Um,
white, gray, and the maroon is a nice color scheme for him. And
yeah, it
he's
is.
different lower leg armor too. So this is like it's not a repaint. I mean, it might be, but it's new to me.
I was gonna say it's not a repaint of a figure you already had.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I had a couple of the ARC troopers that they put out in the Clone Wars figure line, so they're a little bit animated, but those figures struck a nice balance between animated with a reality edge to it, and uh so but they weren't quite that realistic, and that is cool looking.
All right. Also an ARC trooper, also from Battlefront 2, also absolutely looks amazing. Uh is the Umbra operative.
I have the Black Series version of that.
Ooh, really?
I
This would be one that I
and
be the Black Series one would be tempting for me because I absolutely love this color scheme.
yeah, I found a deal for it on eBay. Um, like the shipping was included because I do have the vintage collection version of that, but when I got it, I was like, oh, he's so cool. I need the Black Series version too. And there is where I ran into the one advantage that the vintage collection version had that the Black Series didn't. He comes with the removable helmet and the clone face. The Black Series version does not have the clone face.
Wow.
Um,
I'm kind of surprised.
so yeah, so that was one of those. There was a smidge of irritation, and by smidge of irritation, there were four-letter words. But
I can see that.
yeah, that that Umbra ops, that like the skull motif on the helmet, that color scheme, the all black with the yellow highlights, that is such a cool trooper that it really makes me wish that we had seen them on
On
the screen, and maybe we will someday. Um,
man,
yeah,
okay. So the
that
rain
is super cool.
popped off. So that means that it's articulated.
That's good.
Yeah, but it won't stay up. It's cool that it's articulated instead of just sculpted. And it just dropped one of his pistols. There it is. So it's pretty much the same figure as the last guy, just a different paint scheme, but totally awesome.
Oh yeah,
So let's get him all geared up here. This would be
that's awesome.
a difficult custom, just because yellow is such a hard color
Well,
to.
and he's got a lot of lines in the decoration on his armor.
If I was
Um,
going to do if I was going to do a custom of this, what I would do is airbrush the a yellow base coat and then do the black on top of it.
um, well, if ever you decided to do customs variations of the Umbra ops, I would be curious to see what that would look like.
Eesh, yeah.
Um, In fact,
Yeah, that is super cool.
oh yeah, that's oh God, yeah, he's so cool. Oh yeah, he's got the rangefinder that moves on his helmet too.
It's all the way
Um,
back right now, but
that is oh yeah, that
I,
is one amazing trooper design. Whoever it was that came up with that design for the video game, give them an award for creativity. That is badass.
absolutely. Hello, Alice. How are you?
I was gonna say Alice came to visit.
She did. She's been watching me since I've been sick, so
That makes sense. Um, yeah, it seems like you're on the mend now.
yeah, I'm going to work tomorrow, so all right, give me something else.
Uh, Imperial.
All right. Let's see what we got this Imperial. Hi, sweetie. I think we already opened one of those.
Duplicate you bought on accident.
Yeah, I've got a couple duplicates. Imperial. Imperial looking. Here we go. I don't think. Oh, you know what? We got one more Arc Trooper here. Let's do that Arc Trooper first.
Sweet. Hi,
Also,
Emily.
hello.
I'm headed to the store.
All right.
You think of anything else?
No.
Okay, take it a bit.
Okay. We will.
Check the toy section.
Yeah, at the grocery store, probably not.
Oh yeah, no, that's not.
They do, but
But it's
it's
shitty.
worse than Walgreens toys.
So they're not gonna have anything we'd buy for customs or anything.
No. Uh, Lambent Sinker Arc Trooper.
Ah, yeah. I don't know what a lambent is, but I like the name of it. Yeah, I don't have that one, and I don't think they made a Black Series version of it. I probably would have it otherwise. Um, yeah, I like the colors on that one.
Yeah, the kind of like neon yellowish green is pretty cool. It's colors like that that are really hard to replicate for customs because it's a unique color.
Yeah, it's entirely possible in universe those clones or that clone came up with the colors himself when he decided to decorate his armor. I one of the things I love about all the clone troopers is I like that they customize their armor. I
Yeah.
mean, when they first started, like at the beginning of the war, the colors were officer ranked, or they were their the squad leaders, the lieutenants, the sergeants. Later in the war, they had decorations that denoted the units they were in, like Commander Bly's 327 Star Corps had yellow striping on their armor. The 501st had blue striping. Um, um, the Utapau or the 212 Siege that Commander Cody, they had yellow or they had orange highlights on their uniforms, but the ARC troopers got to go even further with it and individualize their armor. So they had specific looks that were only that one guy.
Yes.
And I like the idea that this guy came up with a custom color for his armor.
And it's very subtle too.
Yeah, I remember seeing that figure and wishing they made a Black Series version because he's very, very cool.
Yeah. Same figure, just different paint scheme, but still.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
see what we got here.
Whatever's on the top of the pile.
Top of the pile there. Vintage Collection 181. I'm getting all of my start cases back.
Oh, good. You got them for future customs.
Yeah. What's really kind of cool is that I'm opening a bunch of my older stuff that have the official like Star Wars star case that Hasbro made.
Oh, okay.
And those are super hard to get now.
Yeah, I would imagine. Because they haven't done those in a long time.
No, probably 10, 15 years.
I was going to say, because I think during the 30th anniversary, I think they were putting those out. They
Yeah.
had like they were embossed with the Star Wars font on the card front, right? Yeah.
It had the Star Wars logo, or it said Star Wars on the back, and then it had an Imperial and then a Rebel logo at the top.
Oh,
Vintage
that's right.
81, The Mandalorian.
Oh, all right. Yep. Oh, so that's fresh freshly forged Beskar Din Djarin,
Yeah,
because he's got the pulse rifle.
yeah, series or from the first series.
Yeah, so that's after he went to go see the armorer to get his no, after he had dropped off the child with Werner Herzog, and then he went to go get the armor forged, and then he walked back into the bar to go see Grief Karga in his snazzy shiny silver Beskar, and everybody was like, "Ooh."
Mm-hmm.
And then he made a life-changing decision to go rescue child, and well, the shit hit the fan, but turned out into one of the coolest episodes of any Star Wars ever. I remember the first time, so all those Mandalorians come jetpacking in from above, and like cheers all around. My kid and I were like, "Holy crap! I can't believe we're seeing squads of Mandalorians flying around in live action." It was like something that I there was a time when I wouldn't have thought that was even possible that we'd see that on screen ever.
Well, it looks like there's a peg for it to peg in somewhere, but I can't tell where because there's not a peg in the backpack for it. So I'm wondering if if it pegs into if there's another version of him with a different backpack that it pegs into. Because it
Oh,
doesn't look like it's part of the, like
does the backpack come off? Maybe it stashes behind it or something.
does, but it has a really weird peg to it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe there was
Oh,
something.
nope, there it is. There's a
Is it?
in the bandolier for it.
Ah, all right. Oh, that's cool. All right. Oh, all right. So in order to see it, you had to take the backpack off.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering if maybe there was a peg hole or something like sculpted into the backpack that would. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that was what was kind of confusing me is there was not a peg hole sculpted into the backpack. So
Yeah, that seems like that's where it should be. Yeah. No, the bandolier. All right, so they hid that pretty well.
yeah, you cannot peg the rifle in with the backpack on. And the cloak is plastic. It's not my favorite figure. I think they could have done better. A soft goods, as well as they've been doing with soft goods cloak, I think a soft goods cloak would have done really well here. And a way to peg the rifle in with the backpack on would have been nice.
Well, to be fair, they put out many versions of the Mandalorian in both skills in both scales. Um, at this point, every time they announce or show pictures of a new series of or a new wave of Star Wars, if there is not a variation on Din Djarin, I am usually shocked into silence for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And yet, every time I think, well, I've already got one, I don't need to worry about it. Because lately, I've been seeing pictures of the Mandalorian as seen in the book of Boba Fett when he was on the Glaive Ring World. And I've seen some pictures where they put that Din Djarin up next to some of the previous versions, and I'm like, oh crap, it really isn't. Like it's an improvement. Like they've changed, like they've improved it, and I'm like, ah, crap. I think I
know.
need that
I've
figure.
seen that figure, and I'm like, well, that's one I won't own because it's 6-inch scale, and I don't buy the 6-inch Star Wars stuff. So hopefully it'll come out in the vintage collection because I really liked it. It really, yeah, it's an upgrade. It really does.
I'm
It really
I
is.
really would be shocked because right now I have one Din Djarin in the shiny armor. He was in a set with Grogu, and so I thought, well, it's cool enough. Crap, I think I need the new one. So,
Okay, let's continue the Mandalorian theme. 219 Death Watch Mandalorian.
oh, good. What was that? Straight out of Chapter 8, Mandalorian. Because, yeah, we see the full flashback that Din Djarin has of when the Death Watch Mandalorians rescued him from the B2 super battle droids. I was very excited to see all of that come together. I love that episode.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, I was like when we see the B2 battle droids being cool and actually kind of scary instead of being a little bit goofy like they were in episode 3. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Dude, hang on a minute. Can you pause it? Hang on.
Mm. It's not. Yeah, it's not spectacular. What is spectacular is the Mandalorian Death Watch.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
Pain apps
Yeah,
are
he's one I've got the black series of. Um
the articulation's amazing. My only
oh
hang up is a customizing hang up. Is the backpack has a very large and unique peg.
oh, so you can't
It won't
you
swap
can't
enough
just give him a different backpack without doing a transplant of the peg.
or giving somebody else that backpack. Yeah. So if I was, I don't do a whole lot of Star Wars customs anymore. But if I did, that would annoy the fuck out of me. I would
Yeah,
probably,
because
I would probably be using rare earth magnets for that, just instead of doing peg transplants.
um
But it's a nice figure. Otherwise, that's my only gripe.
um
He's got real soft weapons too, but again, the
uh
smaller the weapon, the less of a deal.
I like his concussion blaster or whatever it is. Yeah, that's cool looking.
Yeah, it's almost um shit. I don't remember what I was gonna say. It's reminiscent of something, and I can't think of who had something.
You're when you held up that the scout troopers um stun baton with the little piece on it for the electricity. Um, the custom I'm making of wide scope, I'm giving him a stun baton,
Ah,
and I was like, I don't. I'm not sure how to convey that it's a stun. I'm just going to use a piece of that electricity, and I'm going to put it around the end of it, just like that. So your little scout trooper gave me an idea that I didn't have. So,
I use hot glue for that too. You can do some pretty
well,
cool things with hot glue. It takes a
yeah, I mean,
bit,
I could, but I have enough of the electricity pieces from like the Marvel Legends or the Power Ranger stuff that if I didn't have any of that, I would try the hot glue, but eh, I the hot glue is messier than I want to deal with.
yeah.
But
I said it's yeah. It takes some patience, but it if you get it when it works really well.
Yeah, if I didn't have electrical effects, I would absolutely be doing that. But as it is, most of the Power Rangers I buy are just for parts or whatever. So all their little weapon effects that I don't use otherwise, yeah,
All
wide
right.
scope stun baton will
Vintage
serve.
Collection,
Yeah.
246. I've been waiting to open this one for a while.
Okay.
Mandalorian Super Commando Captain.
Oh, I don't have that. I've never seen that figure in a store. I saw that figure at a toy show last year. It was overpriced. Shocking, I know. But I that was the only time I ever saw it. So, and I didn't get close to it because it's a toy show and it was overpriced. So why? Um,
Yeah, you always go
it was one of those where,
day and see if you can haggle with them. A lot of times they, depending on who it is, they don't want to take it home either.
you know, I will if it's something I actually really want, I'll try, but like if it isn't something I'm particularly invested in, or if it's like it's a toy show where there's a lot of people and not a lot of room to move, and waiting in line is more like getting trapped next to the tables for a while. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want it that badly.
There's a there's a dealer that goes to Denver Fan Expo every year, and it's the one dealer that I would buy stuff from because they have stuff that I would buy,
Oh,
and
he's the guy that won't haggle.
he will not haggle at all, and his stuff is super overpriced.
Yeah. So didn't you say there's one figure he's had that you've seen for years at show after show, and he doesn't, and he's still got it because he will not let you talk him down on the price?
Yep.
I I I don't understand that. If
Either.
I figure if you've got a booth where you're selling stuff at a show and you're putting the same action figures out year after year, show after show, I just imagine at some point you'd be like, you know what? I'm going to knock $5 off the price and maybe that'll get rid of it. And if that doesn't work, then you start haggling just because, I mean, it isn't anything I would do. It's a lot of trouble for what seems to me like very minimal worth.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, like, I see pictures of that is nice.
Yeah.
Never seen that figure before.
Wouldn't be
This
surprised
close. Like that's
I wouldn't be surprised if they used this buck for the Moff Gideon, because he had kind of that spiked helmet too.
yeah. Oh man, that's cool. Oh man,
Maybe some different lower legs, but
I think I don't. Yeah, what do the boots look like?
uh they're the standard.
Okay.
Um,
Um.
Pre-Vizsla had the same ones.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Yeah. He's cool. Yeah. I don't know
Absolutely.
if there's a black series of that one or not.
I
Um.
don't know.
Yeah. He's cool looking. I. Yeah. I see pictures. People post pictures. It's like, oh, all packed up for the con. It's like their vehicle and it's stacked. There's no room to move because of all their sales stuff. And I'm just like, that to me just seems like it would be so time consuming, so backbreaking just to keep putting this crap, packing up the car, unpacking it at the show, packing it back up. You know what? I don't I don't have the wherewithal for all that.
Vintage Collection 247. Mandalorian Death Watch Airborne Trooper.
That is a variation that I didn't even know existed. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Variations on these they're like, I'm not sure that I have. I was trying to get them all, and I'm not entirely sure that I have them all. This is also one of the reasons that I'm opening stuff, is to see what I actually have and what I
Yeah,
need, want.
I don't think I could find that guy on screen unless it was pointed out to me, but I'm gonna guess in the aforementioned Mandalorian Chapter 3, where for the first time we see all the Mandalorians come swooping in on their jetpacks. I imagine that guy is probably in there,
Well,
or
that
he's in the episode
this
where,
card has a Clone Wars logo on it, so
oh, he's probably from like the Siege of Mandalore arc then.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I thought maybe he was a Mandalorian figure, like from the Mandalorian.
I thought so too until I noticed because the art almost is photorealistic, but uh when you look at it closely, it's just really nice art.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, he's probably in those. All right, that's cool. Um, yeah, no question then, unless somebody pointed out to me, hey, look, there's that figure. I wouldn't know. They tend to go swooping by on screen, and while I can pay super close attention, it's not my nature to.
Yeah.
Um,
No kidding.
I was gonna say insert your laugh here, but you beat me to it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, he doesn't want to hold his gun.
due to the plastic on the gun or the plastic on the hand,
Yes,
or both.
both.
Oh, that's annoying.
He has the same peg in the backpack, so it's not unique to that one figure. So that makes it a little nicer, but
All right, so is he a rep? Is he mostly a repaint of the Super Commando or
he's got
Pre-Vizsla?
he's got like Boba Fett arms. And then yeah, the rest of it's the Super Commando.
Okay. Um, I mean, I don't mind repaints of Mandalorians because,
Yeah.
firstly, on screen they come in a variety of colors because they take their armor personally and whatever. But it's just when it comes right down to it, I can't always identify the individual parts, and so I'm like, all right, that must be pretty standard. Um, yeah, I do not mind repaints Mandalorians. Never did because it's like, well, that just makes sense.
Yeah. And speaking of Mandalorians, um pre-Beskar armor, Mandalorian. Vintage
Oh,
166.
oh, all right. Um, yeah, in the yeah.
Early.
Do you remember? You remember when they first announced the Mandalorian television series was in development from John Favreau, and
Yes.
then it was a few months later we saw the very first photo from it, and I want to say I think it was that photo that's on the card, and of him in the beat up armor, and people are like, "Is that Boba Fett?" I'm like, "No, it's not Boba Fett." And then for I don't know, like 6 months after, it was all, "Is that Boba? No, still not Boba Fett." And then the show started, and people were like, "Is this Boba Fett?" No, for God's sake. Um, and then eventually Boba Fett showed up, and people are like, "Well, is that Boba Fett?" I'm like, "Yeah, but he doesn't look like him." I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't. I can't with this. I don't care if it looks like it or not. Damn it, the guy introduced himself. So,
It's pretty
um,
much the same figure as the Beskar, the like half Beskar armor. It doesn't have a backpack because he hadn't had his jetpack yet. It doesn't have a
right.
tank hole for it yet, but he does still have the same bandolier and he does still have the same peg hole for in the bandolier for the rifle. So
Oh, okay, good,
it is a
good.
slightly different figure. So yeah,
Yeah.
the Beskar armor, Din Djarin.
So he's still got that same crappy plastic cape that that later version
Yeah,
has.
same plastic cape. It's not
Um,
horrible, but it's like we were saying, with as awesome as they've been doing with the soft goods stuff, they really should have gone with a soft goods cape for that.
if they haven't already redone it, they will.
Yeah,
That's pretty much a guarantee.
that
Um, it's kind of like if they haven't put that version of Wolverine in Marvel Legends yet, just wait a little while. They will.
all right. This one I've been waiting to open too. Vintage Collection 184. The Child.
Ah, with this pram. What is that? Oh, the frog.
Yep.
Oh,
Pram and
that's cool.
and the pram comes with a little clear stand for it to make it hover.
I would hope that would look pretty goofy if all you had to if it had to sit on the floor, um, next to the Mandalorian's feet. That'd be pretty crappy. Does it? Yeah, I'm curious if the little cover on it moves or not, or if it has the cover on it, I
It
should
has the
say.
cover. It looks like it pegs onto it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, it doesn't have to be movable. That would be an engineering feat that they probably don't want to deal with, just as long as it's there, because it's always funny on the show when the kid will close the window on it and be like, "Nope, I'm staying in here." Um,
Yeah. So there's this little frog, little tiny frog.
don't lose that. Um,
I will.
put it in the pram with him.
I'm going
Um,
to.
um. So, what are your thoughts on the announcement of the Mandalorian and Grogu coming to a movie theater? My first response was, "Oh my god, did it really take him this long to announce that?" Um, not because I thought it was. I'm just surprised that they didn't already announce a while ago that in addition to seasons of the show, hey, we're gonna put him in movies. I just expected it.
I didn't honestly.
Oh, it's cool.
I did not honestly expect them to do movies. Because I mean, when you think about it, we essentially most of those episodes are at least an hour long, and we get several episodes a season, so we are essentially getting a couple movies worth length every season. So I really didn't expect him to do a movie.
I think I think what I'm expecting, and I'm not the theory guy, I'm not the predictions guy, but I have a feeling that if they're doing this on the big screen, it's because they want to do something uh um they
Mm,
want to do something a little bit more of a grand scale than what they do. Not that they can do on the small screen, because they can. They
yeah,
can do whatever they want. They've done some really impressive stuff, but I imagine they want to do some sort of grandiose adventure with them that is more suited to being seen in a long form movie than it would be in like a two-part episode. Now I can't imagine what that would be,
yeah, I can't.
but I I am looking forward to seeing what they do. But as long as John Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing the movie just like they've been doing the show, I have nothing but faith that it will be awesome.
Uh,
As
and I'm not
as a
gonna.
guy who loved season three as much as the first two seasons,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah. Here's another one that I got to double up for some reason. I'm not gonna open it right now, but it's Moff Gideon.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know why I have to. So
because why not? All right, pick something Imperial.
Imperial. Uh, all right, we're definitely running low here.
Maybe it will only be a two-part episode.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We could probably make a third episode out of it. Uh,
I think we should.
we can do that. Maybe do another couple, and then we can call it a day. Um, Vintage Collection 155, Knights of Ren.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm kind
Yeah,
of surprised that they didn't make all of the Knights of Ren in any scale. Because I think they made two or three in the Black series, and then they did only this one in the Vintage Collection.
yeah, because there's what, five or six of those guys on screen,
Five.
and they're all wildly different from each other. I mean, all right, their color schemes are black and silver and gray and brown no matter what. But their actual armor, everything they're wearing, there is no similarities other than
Mm-mm.
they're, scary looking. But
Weapons are different, everything.
I do have to wonder if the amount of individuality would have been a lot of cost
I don't know.
in the scales, because I don't well, no, I don't think the problem was the cost to create them. I think what held it up was the amount of repaint potential. There isn't any.
Ah. Well,
unless you think, well, maybe they could do a set with different colors, like from the comic book, but that's not, they can't, I mean, there might be parts they could use for other characters, but you're not, it would be repaints of the Knights of Ren that may or may not, it's like the Mandalorians, the clones, all that. Those parts are going to keep being used. They
yeah,
can't do that so much with the Knights of Ren because they're so
unique.
individualized. I have to imagine that is why they're. Oh yeah, he's cool. Oh yeah, that's cool
That's a
looking.
fantastic figure. I'm
Um.
regardless. I'm disappointed that we didn't get them all.
Oh no, I'm not
Not a
saying
big
that they.
I'm not a big fan of that series. I did like The Force Awakens, but after that, it didn't do much for me. Um, but I did like the Knights of Ren, and I thought to me this is the like the missed boat that Marvel and Hasbro had with the Iron Man 3. That movie was a shitty movie, but it was made for a toy line, and they didn't capitalize on that. I mean, they had
Um.
so many different armors, so many of them would have been straight repaints. All they had to do was continue the Iron Man 2 scale, and but they changed it all up, and the figures for Iron Man 3 were pure garbage. Shit.
Um.
Absolute shit. The assemblers. And they're garbage. And yes,
I
I
can't speculate on why they didn't do more for a toy line for Rise of Skywalker, other than maybe overproduction on stuff for the other movies. But the fact is, when it was announced that the Knights of Ren would be showing up again in Rise of Skywalker, I love the look of them. They're very cool.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I feel like my biggest problem with that movie was they had 50 ideas for what that movie was, and they stuffed all 50 of them into that movie. And they edited the shit out of everything. So nothing is lingered on, nothing is really explored, nothing is really seen with any sort of satisfying screen time. So, as excited as I was to finally see the Knights of Ren, they show up in like 5 minutes. They don't do anything.
Oh,
We see them show up, they stand there, they look awesome. They capture Chewie. I mean, they show up. They're walking around the Star Destroyer with Kylo Ren. They show up on that planet. They capture Chewie. The next time we see them, they're on Exegol and they're getting killed off. And they don't. I wanted to see more of what they could do.
yeah.
And I feel like if that movie had been more focused on here's these 9 ideas instead of these 59 ideas, I think it all would have come together into a better movie,
You know,
and
I'm
we would have gotten a
I'm
more satisfying presence for the Knights of Ren because
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen some sort of Knights of Ren spin-off, either animation or comic book.
they're in the comic books.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, they started with the Rise of Kylo Ren series or limited series, and they're in the main title. They're there, but I haven't read a lot of it. But I don't. Here's the thing: the comic books do a great job of filling in a lot of gaps for the people that are reading it. But if you're not one of the moviegoers who's going to read all that stuff, I'm surprised that nothing has been done with them on screen, and that maybe it will be at some point. But yeah, basically, we've got a 4-second appearance as part of a Force Vision in Episode 7. We have all of maybe 5 minutes of them in Rise of Skywalker and a comic book.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. And there is so much.
I could see them having their own spin-off title though, for a short run.
Yeah. They didn't do, yeah, because they don't, Yeah, because I don't know how many issues they've actually appeared in. I've only read a couple of them, and what they did was okay. But I think there's potential for storytelling and world building that they are just not capitalizing on. Because one of my biggest issues with the sequels in general was the lack of world building. There's a lot of cool things on screen, but very little context provided for any of it. And and the ancillary stuff that they put out hasn't done much to expand on any of that. Um, Now in the Mandalorian and the book and those TV series is where we're seeing a nascent uh New Republic, but we have yet to see anything aside of a little bit of a cartoon called Resistance that shows some of the New Republic stuff at the time of the Force Awakens, but there's this huge gap where we don't know anything. And there's all that stuff on Exegol with the Eternal Sith that they have yet to really explain. And I don't, I want to see this stuff. And look, I love The Mandalorian. I love what Favreau and Filoni are doing. But
Yes.
there are other facets, there are other time periods that
100%.
I want to see somebody do something with, and they're not.
Live
And
action Knights of the Old Republic movie, live action. Oh, there's our thumbs up again. Live action Knights of the Old Republic movie, live action Force Unleashed.
okay, I don't think they're going to do the Force Unleashed simply because Star Killer is so wildly overpowered that I don't think he'd actually be believable in live action. Because frankly,
Tone that down though.
yeah, no, they will. I mean, I do know that there were ideas to bring Star Killer.
Or at least a series. If they could do a series as good as Book of Boba Fett or The Mandalorian, I'd be all over that too.
Yeah. Well, I guess Filoni did have ideas to bring his character into canon as an Inquisitor, and I don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe they will at some point. But they really the Knights of the Old Republic stuff.
That
I mean, I know they're working
uh,
on that movie that is going to tell the story of the original Jedi, the beginning of the Order, but that's so far before Knights of the Old Republic,
yeah.
and there's basically going to be like I don't know, 20,000 years between that movie and
Yes.
the High Republic era,
Yes.
where because I think the Knights of the Older, I think you mean like Darth Revan and Darth Malak and all that, right?
Yeah.
That is, yeah, because that's like 2,000 years before the High Republic.
Yeah. That's
And there's a whole lot that they need to fill in, which maybe they will, but I just, people are hankering to see that stuff. And
that's what gets me is they keep tacking stuff on to the original Star Wars trilogy, and it's like we've got this whole canon that exists through the comic books and through the video games establishing and the toys, and it doesn't get addressed, and it's like here is a wealth for live action, and you don't it's an unmined
I
resource.
do, I do think we will see similar things in that early Jedi movie. And then there's that series that's coming out called The Acolyte, which is
I haven't seen the previews for that yet.
there is no trailer for it. It's coming out.
I've
It
seen
is the end. It is gonna. It's the story of it is the end of the High Republic era. Uh, but it's still like 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So, or like it's there's a long time between where the Acolyte falls because yeah, the High Republic is roughly 200 to 500 years before Phantom Menace, and I think the Acolyte is at the tail end of that. So
Okay.
there's still decades before we see Mace Windu and all them in episode 1. And so I do know they're doing some kind of expansion there. And then they're going to do that movie with James Mangold where it tells the very beginning. But there's that huge time gap that they just seem
like 20,000 years worth of.
yeah, they really seem hesitant to do anything with it. And like I said, I love the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, all that. But
And that's the thing, they need to get the right people to do it, I think.
yeah, and because I think the Game of Thrones guys were supposed to do a beginning of the Jedi thing and before they I don't know, quit or were ousted or what, or had creative differences, whatever that means. I mean, we know generally what it means, but there's a whole lot of reasons for creative differences. And but yeah, there's like instead of just these 5 or 6 things, there's so many people out there that let's get all these people that just let these people just do this stuff. Let these people making the fan films maybe not make canon stuff, just give them some support so we can see some of this stuff on screen. Because yeah, there's a whole lot of lightsaber stuff that I want to see that I don't think I'm going to see before I get too old to care.
Anime series too, quite honestly.
Yeah, did you watch Star Wars Visions?
No.
That's got a lot of cool Force stuff in there. I mean, it's a lot of different creators around the world putting their own spin on things, and I love that. I want to see that, but in live action. And with again, give it to anybody who wants to do it and just see what they do with it because they could find the next. You never know when they could be somebody taps the unmined eras and you find gold there.
Yeah, there's
which is huge.
There's I love stuff like that. I think I haven't seen the second one yet, but Across the Spider-Verse was like that. The Animatrix was like that. Gosh, I was just thinking of another one that was Love, Sex, and Robots. While it didn't follow a specific like story arc or storyline, it was definitely
Oh,
for
you mean like that anthology series on Netflix where there's I like that stuff where there's various animation styles and little vignette story. I like that stuff. And Star Wars Visions is very similar to that. That is what they do. You have a team of people, they have a vision, a story they want to tell, they animate it their own way. I highly recommend you watch Visions.
Yeah.
And I want to see at least 19 more seasons of that.
Yeah. All right.
Because
we're gonna do one more figure here.
Yeah.
285. Book of Boba Fett, Tusken Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I've got one more slot for this tray, and then we'll save the rest for the last episode.
That works.
Just enough for one more episode. Also,
yeah, this
long.
Is one that I haven't seen it in the store, so I've never been close to this one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about it. Is okay. Oh, so he's got the Gothy stick, right?
Yep. And the rifle.
All right, good. So yeah. I really like that part in the Book of Boba Fett.
Really, really thin.
Oh, yeah. Is it warped?
No. Well, no. A little.
Well, a little is okay. I don't mind a little. like Snowjod's rifle was a little bit warped. I don't care about that.
And yeah, the
Um,
Geekery stick, and it's got a cord for the sling. It's not plastic.
oh, really?
Yeah, so it's got a
Oh, so it will actually hang on him and stay on him then.
the will.
Unlike the sling for the Mimban Stormtrooper's rifle.
Yes.
Um, I loved that episode of the Book of Boba Fett where we see him go into that dream reality when that with the lizard, and then we see him carve his own gaffies. Oh, that was so cool.
Yep.
That was
First, I was
that
kind of
was
like, the fuck are we going with this? But I'm like, oh, all right.
um. I like when Star Wars gets weird sometimes like that. I like seeing that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, when Star Wars gets weird, I'm all in, and that was
So
probably as much as we'll ever see.
it's got
Oh,
sculpted like pantaloon legs, so they've got like mid thigh articulation. It's
that's
not
cool.
horrible. It's just the cloak hides it all real well. So
Do the knees move?
no, he has no knees.
Oh,
There are
well,
there are knees. Holy shit. Okay, he's got knees on. Yeah, no, holy crap, he's got that.
oh, so
I have never
so
seen
the
articulation.
articulation is completely hidden by that. Oh, all right, that's cool.
Holy shit. That's awesome. I've never seen articulation.
Oh,
It
so if you've
solid.
actually got one of his starships, you could actually sit him in there and he could pilot it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that it looks like a solid chunk of plastic and definitely like power of the force two legs. But no, man, they're
That's
all
cool. I
and
assume his feet move, right? So he's a fully functional like action figure. Like you could. All right, that's cool.
yeah,
I
no, his
like
articulation
I
is
like that they hid
amazing.
the articulation that way.
Yeah, I do too. So yeah, we'll give him his gaffy stick here and then his rifle. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed, suddenly really impressed with this figure. I was not at first, but I am now.
Cool. Very cool.
And then yeah, he's got a hood so you can put up. The cloth is uh will go up as a hood.
Oh, cool. All right. So what we really need then is some of the Nikto biker thugs so that he can throw them around in Anchorhead, right? Ooh, the cloak looks good when
Yeah,
it's got the hood up too.
it does.
Oh, all right. So it's not all floppy and weird looking.
No, it's
Um,
good. They did a surprisingly amazing job with this figure. For as much as I have not been collecting Star Wars, I've just been getting them pretty much to hang on the wall as display. But the last few years of Star Wars, they've really kind of stepped up their game on the quality of the figures, the accessories, the paint jobs, and the articulation. I am really impressed with the figures that I've opened so far.
nice. Yeah, he needs some Nikto bikers to beat up on. Um, I like that we got to see Kashi Station, and he goes in there. He just kicks the crap out of all those. It was like if they were a little more proficient, it would have been as close as we'd gotten to see like Sons of Anarchy in Star Wars.
All right,
Um,
that is between the two episodes. That is well, technically 37 figures, but because the
dang,
child was in there too, but I stuck him with Din Djarin. So yeah, 37 figures between the two episodes, and we still have more to go.
nice. um,
Yeah, I think we'll call that an episode here and then save the rest for episode 3.
sounds good.
All right. As always, thank you for watching. Please do all that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you think of the Star Wars figures, what um I don't know, find some comments. Just
Yeah, please, because we like those. I don't always remember the look, but I always like when there are comments. So
exactly. So and then yeah, stay tuned for episode 3. It'll be coming soon because now that I'm feeling well, I want to get these shelves up and going. So as soon as I am well enough to go to Lowe's, I'm gonna start putting these guys up on the shelf.
Sounds like a plan.
All
But
right.
all right, everybody, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.